welcome back to the start of this new series I'm calling One Try DIYs, where I do a DIY project with little to no experience and you guys judge how well I did. This is in collaboration with my best friend Dar. We're decorating binders together and I made mine Beetlejuice themed. I'll leave a link to her half of the video and her channel in the description below, along with a list of all the supplies I used, and without her this first episode wouldn't be possible. So let's get into it. I know when I'm showing off the binder it's cut off a little bit. Don't worry, I realized this early on and it shouldn't happen again. For a lot of this I sped it up also because I'm very new to crafting and it took me a long time to do a lot of this. Firstly, what you're going to do is get a cutting mat and make a template with any kind of paper you have around. Measure it out to the height and width of your binder. Then grab your cardstock and template and line it up as best you can to the edge. Grab your ruler, and you'll want a smaller one than what I've got. This was a pain to use. Once you've got everything all lined up the way you want, grab your craft knife, slowly and carefully cut along the ruler's edge. Now with cardstock, you have to go over it a few times, as I found out, since it's thicker than normal paper. And here I'm speeding it up like I'll do with most of the video. You'll want to set aside your template and use the new piece you cut as a guide. Just like you did before, slowly and carefully cutting the rest of your cardstocks into stripes like this. And have an adult help you if you can't use a craft knife like this, because these are very sharp. I only ended up needing half. You really don't need much at all for this. You can see I folded it and then tore the cardstock. Don't do it this way because you'll end up with rough, uneven edges. Once that's done, you should have a bunch of stripes like this, and I just laid out my binder and put the stripes on top to get a feel for the look and placement. Once you've got a good idea how it'll look, you'll want to flip your binder over and grab your red cardstock so we can start working on the inside. You'll want to lay your binder on top of the cardstock and trace it out just like this so you get the exact size of your binder. Then, to make it a little easier on yourself, grab both pieces of cardstock and cut out the shape like this. Grab your binder and your cardstock once again. I measured mine using the pockets on the inside like this, so I for sure had the right size and trim the excess when needed. Now you could measure yours to the exact inch. I sort of did. Mostly at this point though, I just kind of wung it. As you can see, I had a little bit of overhang here because the one side of this binder is smaller than the other, so I just took my pencil, measured along the edge, and cut it accordingly. Once you've got it just how you want it, slide one piece back into the pocket, take your pencil, measure a line right down the middle of your cardstock like this, grab both pieces and cut them in half so you end up with 4 pieces just like this. Lay them out against your binder, making sure they line up. Now, if you do this, you won't really be able to use the pockets, so if you need the pockets, don't do this step. I didn't end up needing them. I was going to add a red stripe in the middle, but decided against it because I thought it looked too busy. So what I did next to all 4 pieces was rounded out the edges to give them a neater, softer look to it. Of course, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I did it piece by piece like this because I found out earlier that one side was smaller than the other. You really don't have to take off as much as I did. You'll see soon why when it cuts. I ended up taking off way too much and had to get a whole nother piece of cardstock and redo it completely. Did you see all that mess? I had to cut and clean it up. It was getting bad. So grab your marker and your red pieces of cardstock and start drawing out Lydia's wrap pattern. You'll want to draw straight lines down the middle, then little curvy bumps in between them to get that spider pattern. And you'll want to do this for all 4 pieces. I was admittedly pretty sloppy with this. If I could redo this part, I probably would, but I had been working on this for so long at this point, I just wanted to get it done. Now, these don't have to be perfect, so don't pressure yourself. Once you're done, you should have 4 pieces that look like this. Now grab your binder, your pencil, and black and white striped cardstock. Measure out your binder against the cardstock like this and just cut it down to size so that it's all the same size and you don't have any overhang. Now I'm just laying them out in the binder like this to see how they lay and what pieces I want to go where. Then I forgot about the little binder studs. It didn't really matter much because my binder is white and my theme is practically black and white, so yeah. But if you're going with some more colorful theme, I suggest painting your binder instead to make things easier, or just buying a colored binder. I swear you can get a piece into the spine of it, you just have to be very careful because it's tight at first. I was going to keep the stripes just like this, but once I moved the binder around, the stripes would move too. this is where you're going to want to grab your craft glue and glue the stripes together. Now this does take a bit of time, but it's worth it to not have your stripes moving every time you decide to take your binder with you somewhere. You're going to want to give that about a day before putting it back into your binder. Once that's done, you're going to finally get the red pieces from earlier and lay them in your binder like this. Don't ask me why I'm patting them down and shifting them so much. I don't know. So I was feeling really good about this. It was finally starting to come together, and it was looking really good, and I was really proud of it. And then the Mod Podge happened. This is totally fine for the back of the cardstock, but not the front, and you'll see why in a minute. So grab your paintbrush and just spread a somewhat thick, generous, I don't know what you'd call this, an even layer of Mod Podge on the back of all 4 pieces. Oh god, there it is. It's bad. Do you see it? Do you see the Mod Podge warping the marker? I was watching this in slow motion as this was happening, and it's so bad, guys. It's so bad. Oh, look at it smudge. Oh, there was nothing I could do at this point. I couldn't go back. I couldn't fix it. This is one try DIYs for a reason. I had to just live with it and push forward. So do the same, covering all the other pieces in glue so they stay in place. Just don't do the front like I did. Well, now that that's finally done, you're going to want to give this about a day and a half to dry and just kind of take in everything. And here's what it looks like finished. I love the way the front and the back came out. Now you can decorate yours any way you want on the inside. It's pretty bad. It's growing on me, but it's pretty bad. That Mod Podge did a number on it. But I still really like it. I kind of like how it's warped like that. I'm going to be using this mainly for YouTube stuff, so I just took some cardstock and I made the little YouTube logo on top of some black cardstock and punched some holes in it. I'm still pretty proud of it, honestly. I'm going to write my channel name, the date that I started, what my channel's about, maybe 1 or 2 other things on the front. Thanks for watching the first episode of One Try DIYs. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you guys think, how well I did down in the comments below, and go check out Dar's half of the project, and please like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later.